Oh, Tony, what are you willing to do for this team? Under which circumstances will we need to not allow you to play, or will you not play? What are our limits here? And I think Tony Romo probably knew that as long as doctors didn't tell him he could not play, he's going to play.
And now it makes sense why Jerry was so adamant about trying to keep Kyle Orton in the offseason. And
yep.
That really stinks because, Brandon Weeden, everyone thought maybe change the scenery from Cleveland, that it might do him so good, but the guy just has zero accuracy. He can throw it a country mile. I mean, that makes sense why he was a third baseman in the Yankees organization in many years, because he's got a hell of an arm. He's just not very accurate.
Right. Well, there were a lot of people who still thought the Cowboys would win this game without Tony Romo. And, I mean, it just goes to show, man, backup quarterback, it doesn't matter who's back there until you need them. And when you need them, it matters a whole hell of a lot. And
backup quarterback is always the most popular guy in town unless it's Brandon Weeden.
Right.
And that's the way it should be.
Well, yeah, it's Brandon Weeden. I mean, he's not Mr. Popularity. He's not, funny or good or whatever. He's just Brandon Weeden, and he's there. And he'll make sure that the ball goes somewhere. Who knows if it goes where it's supposed to, though.
But we're burying the lead here because Arizona is for real. They get a win in Dallas. The Rod Tidwell Bowl, 28-17, 7-1, best record in the NFL, 3-1 on the road. And this defense is legit, even with a ton of injuries back there. Patrick Peterson is stepping up after a slow start. Honey Badger is coming back from that ACL, starting to look like Honey Badger again, and he don't
love
care.
It. He doesn't care.
Deion Buchanan, sneaky good. He does not give a F.
Not one? Not a single one?
Not a single one, and the dude can hit people. He reminds me of like a DJ Swearinger where his head's not in his butt.
Huh, okay. Fair enough.
Sorry.
That's
I had to get that cheap shot in there.
No, that's okay, because DJ Swearinger is the guy from the secondary who's great behind the line of scrimmage but can't cover his guy ever. So that is annoying.
No, it's okay. I feel like Cam Chancellor is kind of that this year.
Yeah, a little bit. But you know what?
He's banged up, though.
Yeah, well, if you go and look at it, I mean, we have now the Cardinals, their sole possession of the best record in the NFC, and, of course, obviously, that division, which is surprising. I mean, you knew that the Cardinals could be something, but they are being something. And Bruce Arians has a legit shot of getting his second Coach of the Year award in 3 years this year.
The playoffs started today. Seattle and San Francisco would be out.
At home.
How nuts is that?
It's crazy. No one would have seen that. And Arizona's just owning this division right now. And you can't stop them, and you can only hope to contain them. And Honey Badger don't care. I really like him. I really like that he intercepted that ball.
Carson Palmer looks better than ever. Hopefully he can stay healthy. And then they're Minnesota-born and bred. I may as well put out their wide receivers, Michael Floyd and Larry Fitzgerald.
Michael Floyd's crap.
He has been crap, but just give it time. Just give it time, baby.
He makes me mad.
No, he has been terrible in fantasy this year, and he's not even on my team, and I can just say that.
He's awful.
Yeah, but Bruce Arians, 2014 Coach of the Year, just give him the trophy now. It's over. It's over, Johnny.
Okay, fair enough.
Two Coach of the Years in 3 years is damn impressive for a guy who was quote-unquote retiring after Pittsburgh just kind of nudged him out the door for Todd Haley.
It's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but good for him. I mean, he's a hell of a coach, obviously. He's done a lot with the little in 2 different places in 3 years, and just a pretty amazing dude.
But
I mean,
he seems
honestly,
like a cool-ass dude. Like, I would love to get beer with Bruce Arians.
With his Kangol hat on and stuff. I mean, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's awesome. I don't know. I like him.
Arians seems like the type who would have some really, really good off-color jokes, too. Like some really good knee slappers.
He does. He does seem like he would be pretty entertaining. He can make you laugh.
He seems like your cool-ass uncle that, when you were a kid, he'd slip you a beer at Thanksgiving when you're like 8.
Yeah, he'd be the guy who see you smoking and be like, "Hey, can I have some of that?"
Your first shot of tequila at your quinceañera, whatever.
Quinceañera, yeah.
Mazel tov. All right, but we've already derailed and we've already gone over time, so let's take a break. Claire versus Carlson show. 1 segment in the books, 3 Mas, BRB. And we are back for the second segment of this week's Claire versus Carlson show. We're trying to keep Claire awake. And I told her to go out and get some Four Loko, but she wouldn't take my advice.
What was your advice?
Go and get some Four Loko, man.
What's that?
It's a booze energy drink, and I think they outlawed the initial recipe because it was killing college students.
Oh, well, that's not good. I don't want to really drink something that kills people.
Well, they were slamming them like energy drinks as kids are wont to do, but then there's a ton of booze in there, so nah.
Oh. Well, I don't really want to drink booze right now given I'm so tired, but the energy drink part sounds good minus the actual energy drink part of it.
The Claire vs. Carlson show brought to you by Four Loko.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, so we got to hustle a little bit. We even get through all of our awesome NFL stuff as there are so many storylines, so many nuggets, and so many tangents that we can talk about. But one I wanted to bring up, we were talking about the Cowboys earlier and how the wheels are kind of falling off. Joseph Randle, arrested a couple weeks ago for stealing underoos and cologne from a Dillard's. Well, the video finally dropped about his arrest. In it, he offered a female officer $100 for a massage, which is kind of spendy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
And then also talked about Dez's 2012 incident of domestic violence where he allegedly struck his own mother. Then brought up the Josh Brent DUI manslaughter of a couple of years ago where Josh Brent killed teammate and friend Jerry Brown in a vehicle, I think 2 Decembers ago.
Yeah.
But Josh Brent back on the team, back on the Cowboys. We already talked about it a little bit. So this week, after the video came down, Dez Bryant obviously didn't like Joseph Randle having his name in his mouth. They had a little run-in at practice. Jason Witten, veteran Hall of Fame tight end, had to break them up. And this is just a lot of dumb crap going around for a very expendable, very backup running back.
Yeah, it's not. The whole thing is kind of not wise to begin with. And then, I mean, why Obviously, he's stealing not because he needs these items, he can't afford them. He's stealing for some sort of a thrill or something. And so it makes you wonder about his mental stability. Of course, that's many Cowboys players, but I'm not picking on them here. There's just a long line of examples of things you look at, you're like, why would they do that? Oh, obviously, they're a little bit crazy. So Cowboys have a habit of picking up guys with a little crazy. Randle isn't like the sort of guy like a Dez Bryant or Michael Irvin or Deion Sanders where their talent is beyond, makes up for the crazy. So Randle's really taking his own future into his hands with all the things that have accumulated since the incident actually occurred.
Yeah, it's funny that you bring up that the Cowboys just seem to attract these type of characters because then you had all the stories about the early 90s Cowboys. Michael Irvin freaking stabbed a guy at training camp in the neck with scissors for cutting in line at the barbershop. No one seems to ever talk about that anymore. And I don't know.
Well, it was a long time ago, but that's okay.
See, I really don't know what's going on with the Cowboys. And you know what? I still think that Adrian Peterson is going to end up being a Cowboy. Next season, because Jerry is going to jury, and he's going to let DeMarco Murray walk out the door, and then he's going to trade for Adrian. Just, come on, Adrian, just break Emmett's record, and we'll all ride off to the sunset.
Well, okay. I would be interested to see that happen. You know, I wouldn't put it past them. I think it would be silly, but I could see them saying, oh, he'll never be able to replicate that performance in terms of DeMarco Murray. So we'll just go ahead and let him walk and bring in Adrian at the end of his career and pay him millions and millions of dollars and hope that he can produce. I don't know. It seems very Jerry Jones-y.
It does. I mean, he didn't get his way on Johnny Football. Oh, maybe the Browns will roll with Brian Hoyer after they win the AFC North, and we'll get to our division picks here in a second. And then they trade John David Manziel to Dallas. Johnny handing off to Adrian. Roll it up.
Oh, okay.
Under head coach Jason Garrett, offensive coordinator Tony Romo. Come on.
Oh, my gosh. This is too much. I don't even know if I can handle this. I think it's too much.
Yeah, all right, so bring it back to Joseph Randle since we already tangented off and drove that into the ditch. Yep, just kind of a moron, completely aloof, and he just doesn't get it.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're going to Dillard's, which is a department store in the South,
what kind of store is that? Is it like a high-end, or is it kind of meh?
No, it's a nicer one. It's nicer than a Macy's.
Okay.
So it's not like Nordstrom quite nice, but it's not Macy's level either.
Gotcha.
So, you know, he stole like $100 worth of stuff. So get over yourself. Don't be stupid. Just another example of a young guy doing stuff that could potentially derail a career he's lucky to have, honestly.
Yeah, Joseph Randle stealing underwear could make his career very brief.
Could be.
Come on.
That was pretty good.
I tried. Also pretty good is the Cowboy social media team. Did you see they're over in London this week playing the Jaguars? And the hashtag, it seems innocuous, right? Hashtag Cowboys UK, because it makes sense. Cowboys are in the UK. But if you read it through, you can pronounce it Cowboys suck. And it's awesome.
Well, yeah, it is awesome because everybody hates the Cowboys unless you're a Cowboys fan, so screw them. They suck, and that was funny.
Cowboys, it seems like Jerry Jones is running the social media team too, and also the website, because do you remember a couple of years ago when they lost their domain name, cowboys.com, to like a gay dating website? That is such a LOL Cowboys thing to do.
Yeah, it's very Cowboys. I mean, it'd be better if it was, I think, in my opinion, Jaguars UK, because Jaguars really do SUK, but then the Cowboys don't really SUK right now, so it defeats the funniness to me a little, but you could see where it's kind of hilarious.
Yeah. Also, speaking of kind of hilarious, the original LOL team, the Jets, did you see that touchdown that they gave up?
I think I missed that.
Right, so Alex Smith trying to throw a slant to Dwayne Bowe. and deflected by